coming at you from the south of France on a chilly night as winter finally hit last week of February. And here we are, and I got my cool kit on that I bought years ago in a cycle shop in the south of Spain. Yeah, it's about 25 years ago. Cool little jacket, nice hat. Might not be everyone's style, but it keeps me warm in the winter rides. I could even put my little ear flaps down, flip them up. Whoa. Um, so anyway, that's enough of my fashion. I just want to say that I'm looking forward to a little session here, and I hope everyone here is well. And if you guys want to comment on anything I do here, comment on YouTube because it opens up a conversation, and it's good. I don't care whatever your comment wants to be. It's great. I like opening up those conversations and starting a little worldwide thing. A lot of people who watch me in Australia, Ireland, Holland. I don't have thousands of followers, even over 100, which is great. A lot of people were brainwashed to think we need to have 1,000, but when it comes down to it, if I was speaking to 100 people in a room, it's quite a lot of people, and it's great. It's great to have the input from everybody. So, my last time I put up a video, we talked about a few things the last couple of times, and one of them was about my trip in Switzerland. And so the theme of this kind of philosophizing talk was something that I do once in a while. I don't do it all the time, thankfully, but sometimes I go to like the worst case scenario in my head. Mostly kind of when I lose stuff or I can't find something. It's a quirk that I have. Maybe because my whole life, a lot of my life living on my bicycle and then in a small house, I know where everything is. I put my tools in a certain place, not to an OCD level. Anyone who sees my workshop would know that. But to a level where I could just put my hand to it, grab it, and do something. And if I lose something or it's in the wrong place, I go, where is it? It's gone forever. We even have a little family joke about gone forever. But on a personal level, my friend Julian, who I met at the last leg of my Switzerland tour, which was the June tour when I lost my iron as well, and that wasn't gone forever, thankfully. I kept in touch with Julian, and we had a nice little back and forth every week. I'd find out where he's going, and then he entered Kosovo, and that was it. Communication stopped, and I was like, that's weird. I wonder if something happened to him in Kosovo. Kosovo is maybe a place that a lot of people don't know about, and I don't know too much about it, but you hear stories and guys on the road. I mean, it doesn't take much. Kosovo, Switzerland, America. Something could happen, and now in this day and age of mobile phones and swapping numbers and WhatsApp, it's easy to lose contact. Funnily enough, I mean, when I traveled back in the day before all this technology, wrote down on a piece of paper, kept it in my diary, had his address, had a phone number, and those things didn't really change so rapidly. But when you're traveling with a SIM card internationally, you lose your phone, and that SIM card number is gone, or you lose a SIM card, or you change your country, done. And we lost contact for about 6 months, and my head went to the worst case scenario because I was like, wow, where's Julian? But luckily, I gave him a card that I carry. He had my YouTube channel. He subscribed to it. 6 months later, I even wrote an email to a bike shop in Montreal to say, hey, have you heard of this guy Julian? He was traveling on a single speed bike. But anyway, 6 months later, he came back from the abyss, and which taught me a good lesson. Is like, see, don't always go to the worst case scenario. And sometimes we do it. I do it at least, and I just don't like that part of my personality because I'm usually so positive. Actually, I'm an optimist, and I like traveling with that optimistic way. I never worry about campsites. I never worry about the worst thing that could happen. And I have an upcoming trip in the spring. I want to do a really long trip, the first long trip I've done in a while. I'm thinking here to Norway, Sweden, and that's going to be about 3,000-kilometer trip. If I go to the north of Norway or Sweden, then it's even longer. But I'll see how it is. Hopefully, when I do leave in May sometime to make my timing right, and I want to keep that positive head and say, hey, things are going to be great. It's going to be a great cycle trip, and I hope everyone out there, somehow or another, we could, guard ourselves from the news. Keep the positiveness, keep on going, live life, enjoy it, and I'm going to get on my bicycle and ride up to close to the Arctic Circle. I don't know if I'll make it up to the Arctic Circle, but I'm looking forward to that ride, and I hope you have things in your life that you're looking forward to, and I will try. I promise I will try to not go to the worst case scenario. If I lose something or something happens, I'm going to say, okay, I'll find it in a couple of days, or I probably just misplaced it. Because you know what, 190% of the time, that is what happened. And I just want to also say that, inspiration, I hope my videos inspire people, to get on bikes, to do a bike ride, I'm getting, into my third year of my 60s, and a lot of people I meet when I'm traveling go, "Wow, you're 60," and I don't even feel like I'm 60. I listen to the music of my youth, and I keep young, and I like to do stuff, but of course, planning a trip. I don't care how old you are. Planning a trip from the south of France to Norway is like whoa. And I don't how I travel. I don't plan. I just kind of say that's what I'm going to do. I might look at the occasional map and have an idea, but I get all my stuff together, and I kind of don't think about it. I just let it happen because you can plan stuff, and I can meet somebody 100 kilometers from the house, ask directions about a pretty road, and he could just point off to the left and go, "Oh man, right there's a nice road." So no matter how much planning I did going that way, that could change my whole trip. So I never really look at a full map for a whole plan. I would never do that because I like to go spur of the moment, talk to locals, find rides, and that's the last couple of rides I did were like that. Even though I did follow the Via Rona, that wasn't my goal when I left, but I just fell upon it and met some great people along the way. And so this trip, and on the trip I did in October, the end of October, I met a couple who I mentioned last time as well, and that was Fazia and Min, and she was the woman who had never ridden a bike up until a few years ago, taught herself how to ride, and they were planning this big trip from Belgium to Georgia, and I was like, wow, holy smokes, that's like, that's a trip. I mean, I cycled across Turkey years ago, and for kind of a novice biker, really, it's a big thing. And Min built his own cool bike, a bamboo bike. He's going to travel with. So that's going to be interesting to follow their travels. And I keep in touch with them every once in a while. I'll send a message, how you doing? And the last thing I was thinking about my Norway trip, I did look at a map and I was like, whoa, okay, Joe, you're in it, but I want to do it. I do want to do it. I'm a little bit nervous, of course I am, but I'm in good shape. My bike's great. My camping equipment's great. I got my merino wool stuff to keep me warm. I'm a new merino wool fan for traveling for sure. I'm getting away from the synthetics close to my body, which feels much better and healthier and just maybe better for the environment, whatever. But that's definitely better for me as a cyclist to cycle with the merino wool for many reasons. And my family having a little bit of a laugh, maybe right now if they're watching it as well, because they're like, "Dad, what are you doing? You're buying all this merino wool." It's like, at the end of the day, it doesn't cost me much, and my trips don't cost me much because I like doing it creatively, so it's a bit of fun. So whatever you have to do for your trips, if you want to get inspired, talk to a friend, let someone inspire you, because when I was having my doubts looking at the maps going, "Oh man, that's pretty far," I sent a message to Min and Fazia to see how they were doing in their preparation for their trip. And the crazy thing is, they're like going. They're leaving in a few days. She was flying down to say goodbye to her family. She's coming back, and they were going, mid-March to cycle down and across Turkey to Georgia. And I was like, chapeau. I thought I was nervous. They, re-inspired me. This young couple who maybe I inspired them to trump up their game as far as cycle touring and carry a few more items that makes the trip a little bit more comfortable, like maybe a folding stool or cook a bit more, and don't be afraid to carry some camping gear and a few spices and to make your trip a bit better. And then when I needed some inspiration, looking at my thing in the cold winter, going, "Oh man, Norway, Sweden," speak to her and she's ready to go. A bit nervous, but she's doing it, and I just said, "Cool, that's where I get my inspiration from." So everybody, I hope this inspires you, whatever you want to do. Go on that walk, do something else. There's beautiful bird song in the background. It's getting cold. I'm going to go in, light the fire, and cook some dinner for when Angie gets back. And it's just a beautiful sunset right now. We had a clear sky day. It's supposed to be much wetter and windier and wickeder than it actually is today. And it's beautiful. I hear the bird song in the background. I hope you can hear some of it as well. And it's just good to be alive. Don't let anything distract you. If I'm keeping away from mainstream media at the moment, once a week I kind of just look at some people I watch on YouTube, boop, 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 just to get a headline. I might watch 10 minutes of the video, but in so many ways it's better for me. A clearer head, and even my vision is better. I I feel if I spend a lot of time on the phone that my vision gets a little weaker and everything feels better. I feel better. My headspace feels better. So I just hope everybody out there is feeling good. Don't get too distracted. Keep in the positive vibe, because that's what we need. We need more positive vibes in the planet, more positive vibes to be pushed out there. And all of us need to realize we're on this trip together. And that's all I could say. And let's not get distracted by the bad stuff out there, because there's a heck of a lot of good stuff. And keep that in your mind. You know, a little newspaper like that can cover a heck of a lot of bad stuff. But man, if we had a newspaper about all the good stuff, like all of it, like the millions and billions of people who are enjoying life at the moment or living a good life at the moment, there are lots of those as well. And I'm not belittling all of the other stuff going on. But the only way we could kind of stop that is by living peacefully within ourselves, opening up conversations with others, living in wherever you are on this planet. If you're lucky enough to have a house, to have a place to really appreciate your friends, where you live, your house, all the good things you have in your life, and that really brings up the vibration of the whole planet. And if we all start doing that and spreading that, oh man, you know, the future's so bright. I gotta put on my shades. Joe Diamede, Joe's Velosophy, coming at you from the south of France with the beautiful bird song, sun going down, full moon. We had a few hours ago. Okay, take care, be well, see you up the road.